Okay, everyone, it's the moment we've been waiting for. We are now ready for the live final of our pitch competition, our global pitch competition. Yes, as Stephen mentioned, I'm Gabriel Pisolante. I'm a global community lead for SaaStock, and I'm super excited to put this pitch competition together it's the third year we're running it. Why do we do this? We do a competition at every one of our flagship conferences because it is a great opportunity when we bring in the community together to be able to support those earlier stage companies, to be able to give them more visibility throughout the conference, and to give the startup founders the opportunity to pitch to VCs, to judges from a variety of backgrounds. And of course, we are really looking to get new, exciting B2B startups to discover them and find them. So yes, it's great to get here now. So I'd like to first thank our Star Program partners who have made this possible. They work with us in every single conference to make sure that we give enough support to the startups. This year, our partners are Zendesk and CMS. So great to have you involved in the program. So how did we get here? At the beginning of the conference on Monday, we did a pre-selection round where the startups got to pitch to a panel of VC judges. Those were private sessions. We then selected the top 10 who presented in groups of 5 on day 2 and 3, so on Tuesday and yesterday. And from there, each of the sessions, we chose 2 finalists. And now we have the top 4. So what are the prizes? We are giving the winner PR opportunities. The winner will get showcased on our SaaStock channels, on our blog. We will have a podcast interview with our CEO, Alex Yuma, on the SaaS Revolution show. They will get a startup program booth at the next SaaStock conference, whether it's online or physical. So they'll get that at our next flagship. And we also have a perk package with prices from our partners, including Zendesk is giving 6 months for new client for their platform to the winner. We have CMS who are providing a place at their Equip program, the startup program that they have. And we also have other perks from partners, including MobiDev and Zoom Info. So really exciting. So how today will work? We have each of the startup founders are going to present a 2-minute pitch, followed by 1 question per judge, up to 5 minutes. Judges will have a scorecard with them to guide them in the process, but the final decision will be made on a short deliberation at the end of the session with the judges, where unanimously we're going to choose the winner. In terms of what we're looking for in the founders today, we're looking at 5 specific criteria items. We're looking at business model. Is the business model viable in the current landscape? Innovation. How are you solving the problem and how relevant it is? Scalability, is the product ready to scale or is it getting ready to get get there? And traction, evidence of traction. So any evidence of customers and evidence of the product kind of working. Competitive advantage is the final one, how you stand up from your competition, and of course being able to present it to the judges. So without further ado, I'd like to start introducing our judges. We'll have a few seconds to introduce themselves. So I'll start with Andy Lever, operating partner of Notion Capital.
Hey, thanks, Gabriel. So Andy Lever, I'm with Notion Capital. I'm sat here in London. I wish I was in Dublin this year because it's a fun city. So shame we can't be there. But Notion are a big supporter of SaaStock. We've been there many years. You may see a couple of my colleagues, Itasio and Joss, have been on the agenda this week. So they've been speaking. And I've been in the VC game for 4 or 5 years. I'm an ex-operator. I'm pretty fortunate to find 5 companies from very early and scale them through IPO. So I've been on a few journeys with Ariba, SuccessFactors, Bazaarvoice, Workday, and most recently Hortonworks. And pretty excited to be here. Looking forward to hearing this.
Great. Next, we have Alex Konoplasty, managing partner and co-founder of Flashpoint.
Hi, Gabriel, Alex. Thank you. And very pleased to be here with you guys. I'm Alex. I'm founder and managing partner of Flashpoint. Flashpoint is an investment firm focusing on companies that do business internationally in the software space, but with founders originating from Eastern Europe and Baltics. So that's our focus. We are a team of about 20 people. We have offices in London, that's where I'm based, but also in Riga, Budapest, Warsaw, and Tel Aviv. That's where our team is located. Besides venture capital, in which we're investing out of our third fund already, we have about 250 million under management in venture capital. We also launched venture debt earlier this year, just pre-COVID. We launched our first fund, got joined by a partner from Krios Capital, who is running this product inside Flashpoint. So looking forward to working with some of you, and happy to be here with you.
Great, thank you, Alex. And we have Tom Jameson, partner at CMS.
Thank you, Gabriel. Very nice to be here again. So I'm a partner at the global full-service law firm CMS. We are sponsors of Startup and SaaStock this year. We've been party with SaaStock now for a couple of years. Really enjoy the events. Shame not to be in Dublin as well, but instead you have me from my living room in my house. For the last 10 years, I've been advising startups and scale-ups on all legal matters to help them grow, including M&A and fundraising rounds and VC investments. I'm also a mentor on our flagship award-winning legal incubator, CMS Equip, which, as Gabriel mentioned at the beginning, is offering a place on it to one of the prizes for one of the winners. So best of luck, finalists.
Okay, and last but not least, we have Natalia Panowicz, CEO of Codility.
Thank you so much, Gabriel. Pleasure to be here, and I'm very excited to hear the pitches. Good luck to you guys. I've been with Codility from the time we were 5 people, so I joined our founder very early on. I was very privileged and lucky to be a part of the journey later on. Yeah, and good luck.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you all for joining us today and for helping us get to this winner this year. I wanted to also mention that all of the finalists will also become members of SaaStock Engage, our membership for startups. So the program does not end here. It's going to be an annual membership, so we can give them more support throughout the year. So really excited about that. Now we're going to start getting ready. Are you ready for this, judges?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So without further ado, I'd like to start by introducing our first top of live final. So the company name is Blinken, and I'd like to introduce Joseph Suarez.
Hello, Gabriel. Hi, everyone. Nice to be here. So, should we start? Right, 2 minutes are running. So, imagine for a second you could fix any tech problem on your own. A dream, right? Actually, a reality. At Blinken, we give you superpowers. We empower you to understand and solve any problem, remotely and visually. Our first product, a video collaboration platform, transforms how people work together. People can chat, talk, and do a video call on a single link click to share the knowledge. One of our customers guided local technicians remotely to install air handling units in the famous hospitals in Wuhan. COVID was a boost for us and has proven that we are a must-have product. Today, Blinken is available in 48 countries. We are used by medium-sized companies and enterprises in several verticals. We increase remote problem resolution by 60%, and we reduce unnecessary on-site visits by 90%. Zoom and others for sure give people a way to communicate, but they are not built to assist people in the moment of need. We have built Blinken for solving real problems in the real world in a simple, frictionless way without drama, for example, without downloading an app. But we don't stop here. We automate tech support. With Blinken, you can help yourself jumpstart your car or set up your Wi-Fi router or assemble even IKEA furniture. Using computer vision and augmented reality, we guide you through your task step by step. Blinken will be a platform where millions of people can design their own step-by-step visual guides. We are customer obsessed, bootstrapped, and capital efficient. Our clients love working with us and want to invest. We are an international team of 15 passionate people who enjoy creating impact. We have decades of experience in building scalable SaaS products in machine learning and computer vision. If you think now people should be able to share their knowledge easily, and if you're an early stage investor and believe in the impact of empowering people, then support our vision to give the world a help button. I'm Joseph, co-founder of Blinken, and happy to have your questions now.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Joseph. Yeah, and it's time for questions from judges. And I'd like to go first with Andy.
Hey, really good pitch. I enjoyed that. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
love that. The world's help. That's cool. Nice tagline. How are you going to charge for this? What's the pricing model? How do you do the commercials? I'm curious.
It's a clear, simple, pure SaaS model. We charge 25 euros per license per seat. When you have a little lower volume, we try to push the price a little bit higher, but that's what we see right now, what works. Yeah, 25 euros, simple.
Got it. And just
Okay.
quick follow-on question. Do people just sign up themselves, or do you have a sales team?
We do founder sales right now. We did some experiments the last few months. We have realized that we are not, I would say, sales ready in a way that we can really scale it. And so this is part of our next steps and journeys to get our customer acquisition costs right, really trying to understand them and create a framework, a metric system that we can really kick things off. That's also one reason why we're also now starting to looking actively for investors who also can turn Blinken into a sales machine.
Perfect. Thanks.
Great. Thank you. Next, I'd like to go with Natalia.
Thank you. So you said that you're available in 48 countries, bootstrapped, profitable, so already paying customers. Who are your best customers and why? And how are you thinking about your ideal customer profile?
So what we see, our best customer is right now a large enterprise, I would say, with 8,000 full-time employees. This is where we see that they understood what we do. We see that we can have impact. And that's also, by the way, the reason why we are active in 48 countries, because we grow with our customer. So we are searching actually for customers who are worldwide active, who ship their products worldwide and also need to deliver their service worldwide. And for us, an ideal customer profile is right now a German-based customer, because that's where we are on the ground and can create trust and live our customer success approach. And if they are international active, then it's an ideal match for us.
So quickly, if I may, follow-up question. So that ideal customer, do you have full coverage of seats for this customer, or do you start with a smaller team?
I don't know if I understand your question right.
25 euro per license per person, right? So what's the price of a contract value then? How many licenses do you sell to?
They took, in that case, 500 licenses. Mass is also quite simple. For each subsidiary, they have 10 licenses, more or less, in place. This, at the end of the day, it turned out to a 140K ticket, for example.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay, next we're going to go with Tom.
Hi, thanks, Joseph. Great pitch. So
thanks.
You're concentrating on B2B, but then also looking at B2C. Is that right? Do I understand that right in your pitch?
Yes, that's maybe not the most clever thing to say, because a lot of investors, what we see, are really into B2B to remain. But for us, it's about impact, and we really mean this with the giving the world a help button. So we even have somehow a C2C model in our mind. We would be happy to have really maybe an investor to find both business models to discuss both with them. Yeah.
And on that, and I agree with Andy, I really like the taglines with the world's help button. How do you get over the problem that's YouTube?
YouTube is a great way to solve problems, right? People do it. We see it that it's in the customer journey. But what YouTube really lacks is YouTube is not smart. So we try to create an AI kind of a bot, a visual bot, that's how we call it, which understands what you're really looking at. So kind of creating a smarter YouTube. So with computer vision, we are able to detect what error code is blinking, what the blinking pattern is actually when your device is in a pairing mode, for example, and that we pick the problem resolution up from that point, where your problem actually is.
Brilliant, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm afraid we're up for the 5 minutes. The 5 minutes are up, but Alex will be the first one to ask the next question. So I'd like to go for our second startup. The name of the company is SyncSpider. I'd like to introduce Norbert Strapler on stage.
Hello. Hey, my name is Norbert and I have worked with over 100 webshop projects so far. Did you know that next year we will have $5 trillion in e-commerce sales, but only 26% of retailers are selling online yet? A lot of SMB do not know how to start. They don't have time to manage new channels, and 7 out of 10 are currently looking to automate their commerce. See, Anna, she has an online store, a POS, and wants to sell on Amazon. What happens if a product gets out of stock? She can't deliver in time. Boom, bad review. If Anna wants to succeed, she needs to rely on automation. If an order is placed in Shopify, update Amazon, the local POS, and the shipping center. Sounds easy? Well, if you're a huge company, then yes, but for Anna, there's nothing but to rely on manual, repetitive tasks. There are more than 15 million e-commerce stores, and the store owners need to deal with products, suppliers, importing, exporting, buyers, orders, shipping, tracking. We are talking about millions of possible combinations to connect all those tools and channels and providers. Well, say hello to SyncSpider, the only integration platform that is able to connect the entire e-commerce world. With SyncSpider, store owners can integrate and automate their channels within one simple interface. And finally, when in the year 2040, 95% of all purchases will happen online, we at SyncSpider going to be part of it. Currently, we have an MRR of 20K without doing paid marketing. A lifetime deal last year sold licenses worth 100K within 3 days, and the lifetime deal with the biggest portal is already booked. And every new integration gives us more visibility. If you believe that e-commerce growth will continue and automation is the key to success, you definitely should invest in SyncSpider for a better, faster, and stronger e-commerce. Thank you.
Great. That was exactly 2 minutes. So I'd like to start the question round this time with Alex.
Thank you, Gabriel. Norbert, thank you for a very inspiring presentation. And I think all of us do believe in e-commerce and its proliferation. It sounds like you have a very large task that you at hand that you're trying to solve. And obviously, the question that I have is to better understand the actual problem you're solving and your target customer. Because obviously with large e-commerce businesses, a lot of them develop their own solutions. For small e-commerce businesses, there are plenty of Shopify-like businesses all across the world. Shopify is not the only platform there. So what specifically are you actually doing? What is like the little problem that you're solving that is going to help you win in this segment and really differentiates you versus like all the other competition that is out there?
Mm-hmm. Bringing the tools together. Yeah, so bringing the tools together is the main thing that we do. The problem in e-commerce is that there are only 26% really are online, selling online at the moment. And the people, the store owners, the little store owners, not talking about the mom and dad stores, I'm talking about a physical store that want to sell online. They are not able to have the local ERP software connected with the web shop, connected with the marketplace. So they constantly need to have manual repetitive tasks to update the stock, update the product data across all those channels. And this costs a lot of time. What we are doing is we are connecting all those channels together, specialized on e-commerce. So you could say that SyncSpider is somehow like Zapier, but especially for e-commerce products, and also considering the offline world and the world managing different files, because you get a lot of files from suppliers like CSV files, Excel files, XML files to import and export. So we are considering that Zapier for e-commerce.
Great. Thanks. Going back to Andy.
Cool. Hey, so this is valuable. And we've all seen how, I mean, Shopify is the one stock I wish I bought many years ago. So let me tell you.
Yeah.
You can see the explosion going on.
Me either. Me either.
So, hey, two really quick questions. First is, do you do multi-channel? So do you merge across the physical as well as the e-commerce channel? Yeah. So you can manage them both together. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Good. So we do not have a store system ourselves. We connect to store systems. So Shopify is one of the tools that we are connecting with. On local, we are connecting with Navision, SAP, and all the small providers as well. So and the big ones, of course, Amazon, eBay, Magento, WooCommerce.
So let me ask you, the one question I really had then is, the killer in all of this is always returns. Do you handle the returns as well?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So it's nothing else but another connection, that another workflow task that a user would build in SyncSpider.
Got it. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, great. We're going back to Natalia.
Who is on your team today, and who would you hire if you had additional investors?
Well, we would hire additional marketers, support, and sales guys. We have a very good development stack already. This was the main investment that we could do from the bootstrapping. Development is very good. Marketing is already turning up, but sales support, this is what we need because we are ready to scale now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. And we have time for one final question. Tom.
Thanks. Great pitch. I love your enthusiasm.
Thank you.
I'm bought in. I'm interested in what your background is. Before you started.
Yeah, I come from a digital agency, so I was involved with my team of 15 people in a lot of e-commerce projects, far from 100 e-commerce projects, and every customer that we have had two same questions. Can you integrate with, depending on the tool they used? And the answer was always, yeah, we can, but we need to develop it. And this is the main reason why we said we need a middleware, because there is nothing. There is nothing that is really adaptive and easy to use and affordable, and this is why we decided to build this tool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, great. So that concludes our 5 minutes of Q&A. Thank you very much, Norbert, for your pitch. Great pitch. Our next company, third finalist that I'd like to incoming from is dining from Bangalore, and it's a company is called Loyalitics. His name is Amar Abdullah.
Hey, thanks, Gabriel. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amar. I'm the co-founder at Loyalitics. Really excited to be with you all today. So who are we? We are a B2B SaaS company focusing very deeply on customer engagement and loyalty in the mid-market retail segment. What do? We help mid-market retailers improve their customer engagement metrics without having to spend thousands of dollars and countless hours in setting up and managing their own CRM team. Why mid-market, you ask? Because that is where the problem is most acute. While there is no dearth of CRM platforms or customer engagement platforms available for retail, majority of these still depend upon an intelligent user to operate them, increasing the total cost of ownership and therefore making it cost prohibitive for the mid-market segment. How are we different? We are building what we call as the self-driven Ferrari version of CRM platform for mid-market retail, completely obliterating the need for them to have a huge CRM team. We don't just give fancy insights, we give automated, actionable recommendations which are deployed at the click of a button. Our traction so far, we are currently deployed at about 400 retail stores across Middle East, which is a key market for us. We have a revenue of about 20,000 MRR. We are profitable, and all of this while being bootstrapped. A quick talk about our team. There are 3 co-founders at Loyalitics, 40 years of experience driving CRM and loyalty for some of the biggest retailers in the world, the likes of Target, Tesco, and Kroger. So we know a thing or two about what we're trying to do here. Our focus markets are Middle East and Southeast Asia, and we do plan to foray into Europe in the next 6 months. And lastly, we are looking to raise about $1 million in growth capital for customer acquisition and product development. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you for your pitch. Now we're going on Q&A, and I'm going to start. Well, let's go back with Alex.
Thank you. Ahmar, thank you for an interesting presentation. It's highly exciting to see companies from a different side of the world. We're more focused on Europe, so it's great and welcome. The question that I have is about data quality. So when you're doing omni-channel and when you're doing a lot of basically data-driven analytic tools, you usually come across data cleansing problem and data quality problem, right? To make sure that you indeed are capable to present to your customer meaningful conclusions on the basis of data across various solutions and various channels. So how is this problem? How do you address? Do you have this problem, and how do you address it in your business? Thank you.
Yeah, we do kind of see this problem, Alex, and I would be very honest in saying that while we don't solve for data quality issues end to end, but we do have some checks and balances in place in our algorithms right now that kind of make sure that we are making sure that whatever data we are getting in is kind of correct. But essentially, the quality of data is at the end of the day the prerogative of the retailer or the business that we are working with. So we don't go and solve the data quality issues for them. We work with the data that we get, and as I said, we have some basic checks and balances in place to make sure that we have something which is which looks reasonably correct.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. I'll change the order a little bit now. I'd like to go with Tom.
Thanks. Great pitch. Thank you very much. Just very succinctly, we're obviously in a world where everyone's looking at their cash balances now and a bit concentrating a bit more on what their spend is. How do you sell this to your end user? What do you tell them the value output is, if ultimately a lot of it is based on sort of the same data that would be going in?
I'm sorry, Tom, can you just repeat that?
When you're selling to your end users, what do you tell them the value will be from the output?
So the value that we so the value prop that we have, Tom, is that they would be able to significantly improve their customer engagement efforts, metrics, and results without them having to invest a lot of money and of course hours and time and all of that into setting up their own team. Because mid-market retail is definitely doesn't have those to be able to do that, right? While the likes of Tesco and a Kroger or a Target can very well do that and have an army of analysts, mid-market guys do not have that, right? And that is where the proposition kind of hits them clearly, and they say, okay, if I can be as sophisticated as a Tesco without having to have an army of people doing this, I'm in for it. So that's the whole selling point, I would say, USP.
And sorry, as a follow-on question. And then, so do you have, from your current traction that you've currently got, have you got a stat or something from the cost saving that you've saved one of your users?
No, absolutely. So it's so one part of it is cost saving. The other part of it also, Tom, is around improvement in key customer engagement metrics, like for example repeat rate, for example ATV, right? For example average basket size. These are very important KPIs in retail, and we have been able to improve across all of these KPIs. One thing that we say is we want to give you dunnhumby. So I'm sure all of you would be familiar with dunnhumby, right? So we say that we want to give you dunnhumby as a SaaS product, right? Now, while the effectiveness of dunnhumby is kind of known to everyone, but dunnhumby is not affordable to a lot of mid-market retailers, right? So that is what we kind of try and do. or at least we are trying to do? Can we make dunnhumby like insights and recommendations affordable to a huge amount of mid-market retail through a SaaS offering?
Okay, we have a few seconds for one more question. And Natalia?
I'm very curious what's specific about mid-market retail that it's such an overlooked segment.
So, Natalia, I think one of the key problems that at least we have seen. So we started off working as a services company, and we were working mid-market retail ourselves. Mm-hmm. And what we saw is that they were more focused on the day-to-day business and really didn't have a very separate focus team on CRM or analytics, right? And therefore, I think there is a big need there, which kind of needs to be looked at or served.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm afraid time is up, but Andy, you will be the next one to ask. Okay, so that leaves us to our final startup of today. The name of the company is Mercury.ai, and this is Stefan Trocco. Stefan, welcome. Come on in.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. Should we just start away?
Hey, just a second. We need to bring Stefan back.
Okay. Do you? Gabriel, just sign. All right. Okay, so Mercury conversational user experience platform that helps businesses build better customer relationships with live messaging. Before you think this is just a pitch, let's start interesting. We do not charge per agent or user or match. So no matter how large your live chat team is, they are all included without any extra charge. We do this because we believe in the value of automation when it's done right. That brings us to the tech USP that allows us to do that. Our unique approach to dialogue automation is possible because our team's extraordinary research experience of more than 35 years in AI, but also linguistics and cognitive science. And that's why we tackle language, not just as an information problem, like typically done in computer science, but as behavior. Well, based on this holistic understanding, Mercury.ai has built a modular dialogue engine that lets you add plug-and-play conversational automation for a lot of standard tasks. Like every conversation module already contains the behavioral intelligence and the language understanding for the task at hand. Once added, your individual AI model will then self-optimize and actively learn from user interactions. So whatever requests keep getting your agents busy, just add those dialogue apps to automate them. And since we charge for automation, you will already know your ROI before saving your agents time. Our product has already convinced top-tier enterprises like Nestlé, Bayersdorf, and Volkswagen, as well as e-commerce and retail brands. So let's wrap it up. It's powerful plug-and-play conversational AI to speed up your automation time to market and live chat for all your agents without any extra charge. Thanks for your attention. I'm looking forward to answering questions and maybe go out, check out our website, Mercury.ai.
Okay, I think we got that. So I'm gonna get Andy to ask the first question.
Yeah, sure. Hey, we missed maybe the first 5 seconds of that, but I think I can plug the gap. So this is super interesting. So just a couple of thoughts is, first of all,
yeah, cool.
I'm curious what the main use cases are, where people have really deployed this. Kind of what is it like for people applying for jobs? Is it purely people asking for product support? And also, does it plug into back-end systems, so for customer service agents as well. So they've got a record of the chat that happened. I'm just curious how it integrates together.
Yeah, it integrates into CRM systems, into product systems like shop systems or PIM, product information systems, all kind of that, and also into help desks and any of these ticketing systems. The use cases are quite all over the board because of our bootstrapping approach with a lot of word of mouth customers coming in. But currently for scaling, we are focusing on e-commerce. So the uniqueness in the product, like being able to talk about product data, makes it really easy to connect shop systems like Salesforce Cloud Commerce or Shopify and then answer questions about the products right away.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Now I'd like to go with Natalia.
So congratulations on word of mouth, of course. So when customers recommend you to other customers, what do they say?
I think probably it's the user experience of the automation. I think you can notice a lot of typically intelligence in making references like which of those is the cheapest, and these kind of things. They are possible, but they're just not possible with the other solutions in the market. I think that has been a key driver. But for now, I think the next step would probably be the agents basically in the plans, so you don't pay for the many users that you would use on live chat, which is kind of a new feature right now.
Great. Now let's give the chance to Alex.
Yes, thank you. I had a question regarding maybe a little bit about the technology, Stefan. So obviously there are many chatbot solutions and many AI, conversational solutions out there. Google is doing something. So it's one of the busiest spaces over the last 2-3 years. So what makes your technology unique on the back end in terms of training AI? And how do you see the product evolving going forward? So what makes you unique from other solutions that are out there? Thank you.
Typically, well, let's put natural language understanding aside for a while. That is pretty much a solved problem in a way. So the question is, how do you tackle dialogue? That is the interesting question. And everyone in this space goes either for flow diagrams or for end-to-end learned dialogues. Both are turning out to be monolithic systems that are painfully to maintain. And we found a way that is very much driven in linguistics. Basically, back in the 50s, you had ideas of speech act theory, and we found a way to build that into a modular approach to dialogue management. This is very unique and enables us to do what we're doing.
Okay, great. And we do have time for one last question. So, Tom.
Thanks. I was just interested in your revenue model. Sort of how long have you been tricky? Very good contracts and some quite powerful names there. How long have you been running Mercury.ai?
Oh, it's quite a while now. We started out in summer of 2016. The first 1.5 years were dominated by, I would say, bootstrapping through project kind of thing, building the product. Then we shifted, and in 2019 we made it to 90% recurring revenue, which is pretty good, since you will always have some kind of setup fees or something like that. But the model is that we, aside from some developer plan, basically have a plan that starts with 500 euros a month for all agents and 5 of those dialogue modules. And then you would add another dialogue module for 60 euros. Then there would be an enterprise plan where you can basically get a flat rate even on the dialogue.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you very much, Stefan. Thank you for doing the pitch, and we're glad you made it. So that concludes our 4 pitches. We have 4 amazing companies there for great pitches, and it's now going to go up to the judges. But before we go, I wanted to say, well, thank you, judges, for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the session. Is there any word of advice you have for these 4 participants? Would you like to start? I'd like to start maybe with Andy.
Hey, I'm always impressed when people are bootstrapping and getting referral sales and really digging in with some of those big names. So I know some of you, it sounds like you're actively out there raising money as well. So I'm kind of curious what's in your pitches for raising money as well, because it sounds like you've got great traction, you get into good MRR figures. I don't have any advice apart from just keep doing what you're doing. That's about as good as it gets, I think. Getting money for the best ideas.
Great. What do you think, Natalia, as a CEO?
So I've also been through a bootstrap journey, and we raised our first round after a decade of bootstrapping. So I just want to say kudos for bootstrapping as well, and keep on going. The highs will be high and the lows will be low, and just keep going through them.
Great. Alex, any comments for the finalists?
Yes, thank you, Gabriel. We love, technology and startup investing because it's a story of constant life and evolution. And I think now we're in unprecedented times when this evolution across the industries has been fast forwarded, and there's a lot of spotlight on technology and startups. So I would like to wish everyone, be brave and good luck, and invest in people.
Nice. How about you, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, as part of my job, I'm on the other side advising entrepreneurs, and I'm always in awe of you guys and sort of the turmoil and sort of the highs and lows, as Natalia said, that you've got to go through. So just keep swimming, and we're in a very sort of uncertain time at the moment with some peculiar circumstances going on, and it kind of sounds, to be honest, like all of your businesses are quite well targeted to potentially benefit from a little bit of uncertainty at the moment. So best of luck.
Great. Yeah. So well done to all participants. They had very short time to actually prepare for these pitches, so that's really great. That what they managed to put together in such a short time frame. From Monday, that was a pre-selection, until today. So yeah, really well done. So what's going to happen next is we are going to go on the judge deliberation now. We're going to choose a winner. And when we have the final winner decided, we're going to announce it at the end with the closing remarks. So do stay on the scale stage, and you can find out the results. Thank you again, judges. Thank you everybody for watching, and yes, to many more competitions.
Thanks, Gabriel.